I'm sitting here thinking about something that was important that I heard one of the subscribers left in the comment section. I'm sitting here waiting for my soup to cool down. And the thought came to mind. What's really stopping you from sharing your gift? Not specifically on YouTube, but since a lot of people are trying to get on YouTube in the comments, what specifically is stopping you from getting on YouTube? When you know that you have something to share. Not only something to share, something valuable to share, because you had an experience that God brought you through. And you knew God brought you through that challenge, and you came out. And I started thinking, could it be that you thought you didn't have any success? Just because when you went through it, it seemed like you wasn't going to come out and you was kind of wavering in your faith. You thinking it's not that important to tell anybody. Or could it be that a lot of people didn't tell you that was close to you, they're proud of you because you came out of that divorce on the other side looking like, nothing happened to you, or you was in, a rehab center and you came out and you might have had some scars, but you didn't think it was really important to tell anybody on YouTube. Just think about that. Because from my experience, from being homeless, from meeting my father when I was 10, him dying in my arms when I was 16, and everything that happened since then, it seems like it was preparing me to help those who are assigned to me. And that's what I want to talk about. The things that happened in your life didn't happen to you. It happened for you. It happened for your good because it made you stronger. It happened for your good because it made you the person that you are now. If you change one thing in your life, I believe you wouldn't be in this place called now. This place called now is your prepared place, because everything you went through for a purpose. You went through those challenges to come out on the other side. Every test you overcome is a testimony. And how do we overcome? By the testimony that we share. The words of a testimony helps us overcome, and help those overcome who listen to it and grab hold of it because of the situation that they're in. So when you went through those tests, you didn't think that you was going through it for somebody else. You didn't think you was going through that divorce for somebody else. You didn't think you was going through that bankruptcy for somebody else. I went through bankruptcy twice. Both times because of real estate. I wanted real estate so bad. I got my real estate license. I got into the office and the brownstone that I wanted in the Bronx, I got the brownstone, but it didn't get it the right way. My broker was like, do you want this brownstone? Yeah, I want that brownstone, 166th Street and Morris Avenue. I remember the address, 1067 Morris Avenue. And I'm like, okay, well, do what I gotta do. He said, do you want it? I said, yeah, but I don't have the cash now. He said, I didn't ask you that. I said, do you want it? I said, yeah. He said, I'll get it for you, Just gotta play the game. I didn't know what game you're talking about, but hey, I said, I want a brownstone. I want to be like the Cosby Show. I want to be like Bill Cosby, have a brownstone and have a party on the roof. I said, I'm getting me a brownstone. And the brownstone looked real nice on the outside. And every time I say I want to go check it out, go inside, walk through it, just like I see everybody on TV walking through the house and making sure it's okay. Every time I came there, oh man, if people on the first floor, they're not home, you can't look at it. Oh no, they're not home. Go there again. No, they're not home, you can't look at it. But the lady that was living there, she let me see the other two floors. Okay, I know it needed work, but I didn't know it needed as much work as I eventually found out. So We went to closing. I made some money off it because I was a real estate agent. I made some money off it, went to closing. Got the keys. Got the keys, walked in the house, opened up the door. It was like a tidal wave of grief that hit me so hard, I almost took 2 steps back. There was holes in the floor. There was termites in the whole house, termite infested. And there was these little, I wouldn't even call them water bugs because it's bigger than water bugs. And come to find out, the owner of the property, he used to live in Florida, and those bugs are only found in Florida. So how they get up here in the Bronx? He must have brought some eggs up or whatever that was in his bag, and they infested the house. And they had mice in the house. No, matter of fact, they had rats in the house, big rats. So I went through that, living in that property, saying, yeah, my broker said, I could get a 203K loan to fix the property up, but my credit wasn't too good. But I have to wait a year after that so I could, refinance and put the 203K loan into it. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It had old pipes in there. It had, everything was old in there. I mean, old. The house was built in 1908. It seemed like they didn't renovate it since 1908. But anyway, I'm saying that I went through that. went through that. The heating cost was like $700-800 a month. This was back in the 90s. $700-800 a month. And I'm like, wait a minute, how it gonna be $700 and some change just for gas heat? Nah, something wrong. No, we checked it out. We checked everything out. They came out, made sure everything working. Yeah, we checked it out. Yo, you got an old house. That's an old boiler, man. Yo, your windows are old. That's why you paying all that money in heat. And everything was just going out the window. Yeah, I was getting $600 a month rent. My mortgage was $1,100. Hey, I got to kick out, $500 for the mortgage and insurance and everything? No, it didn't work out like that. Seemed like everything I did failed. And eventually, what happened was the ceiling fell in on a couch I was sitting on 3 minutes before I left. 3 minutes before I walked out the room. Plaster ceilings. I'm in the other room, bang, I heard a bang, and it was like, boom, I walked in, the plaster fell on the couch where I was sitting at. And that's when I broke down. I cried. I was like, oh man, well, how I'm gonna get out of this? How I'm gonna make this right? I got my family in here. This is not right. So to make a long story short, I went bankrupt. That's a whole nother story. I didn't have to go, but a whole nother story. They tricked me out of the house, but I got the house, or I got out of the house. And I learned from that, you have to do your due diligence. I'm telling people now, when you buy a house, do your due diligence. Look at everything before you sign that dotted line, and make sure you have a contingency plan, because if something's wrong, you can back out of it. And if somebody tells you just play the game, that should be a red flag right there. I can talk to people about real estate. I could talk to people about fixing their credit. I could talk to people about correcting your wrong when you know you're wrong. I tried to make everything work. I tried to do it in my own strength. But I broke down and asked God to help me. And that's what he did. I had to go bankruptcy, yeah. I had to do that because I tried to do that in my own strength. Those were the tests I was going through. That was the trials I was going through. And I wasn't going through just for myself. I helped a lot of people who was in bankruptcy because it was over their head in real estate. Over their head in the car payments. Over their head because their eyes was bigger than their pockets. And they didn't want to go do it the correct way, the blueprint. Yeah, I think my soup is cooled down now. Yeah, I got some broccoli and cheddar cream soup. But I just wanted to say that because everything you go through is not just for you. It's for somebody else to overcome, because we overcome by the words of a testimony. And my testimony is, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You say, well, how do you know that? Because God says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. That's my testimony to you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I know that because God cannot lie. And since God cannot lie, get your butt on YouTube and share that message that you have. Because you have a testimony. No matter how big or small it is, you have a testimony. Share it. Spread the good news that you overcame that challenge. Because this is my time. This is my experience. This is my life. God bless.